Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz. This is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Thursday, January 18th, 2024. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my college basketball Bank Shop best bet, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Thursday in college hoops. First up, we'll start in the WAC as Abilene Christian takes on Tarleton State. This one's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. Now, neither of these teams are in great form going into this game, as Tarleton State's lost 2 straight, Abilene Christian as well, and they've lost 4 of the last 5. But I actually think Abilene Christian is quite underrated right now. I think that their record doesn't really tell the full story. They're 6-10 this year. They're 1-4 in conference play, but I actually really like this matchup for the Wildcats, and I really like the fact that, both of these defenses are very aggressive and they're going to force a lot of turnovers, but ACU does a better job at taking care of the ball. Tarleton State ranked 244th in turnover percentage offensively. And another thing is Abilene Christian, both of these teams, because they're aggressive defensively, they take a lot of fouls, but Abilene Christian does a really good job at getting to the free throw line. They score a lot of their points from the charity stripe, almost 25% of their points. That's the 15th most in terms of point distribution in college basketball. Tarleton takes a ton of fouls. I think ACU is going to have a lot of free throw opportunities in this ball game, and oftentimes those are the most sustainable opportunities offensively, and won buckets, and just fouls in general. So I'm going to take ACU in this game. They're a good free throw shooting team, and I like their chances to win this game outright. Next up, we see Illinois and Michigan. This one's going to be 8:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Now, we faded Michigan in its last game against Ohio State, and got to give credit to the Wolverines. They won that game outright. But when you look at the numbers from that game, it's really concerning for me, as Michigan won the game by 8 points. But, it was a close game down the stretch. It was, a couple of possession game for most of the second half. And in that one, Michigan shot 12 of 23 from 3. So one of their best three-point shooting nights of the season, 52%. Ohio State, on the other end, was 3 of 25 from 3, 12%. So Michigan shot over 40% better from the perimeter than Ohio State did in that ball game, yet they still only won the game by single digits. That's really concerning for me. It goes to show you this Michigan offense, they're a good three-point shooting team, but they don't get a lot of sustainable buckets, and I don't really trust their defense. Ohio State only had 4 turnovers in that game. Michigan's defense doesn't really force tough shots, doesn't really force turnovers, and I do think Illinois, coming off the tough loss against Maryland, should be fired up in a game like this. I think they match up well with Michigan. I like the fact that Illinois is very strong on the glass, 21st in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. That could be a problem for Michigan, who's ranked 216th in defensive rebounding percentage. Illinois, without Shannon, it's been tough offensively, but I think this is going to be a good spot, a good bounce-back spot for the Illini. So give me a little Illinois in this one. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we see UC San Diego and UC Irvine. This one's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. These are your top 2 teams in the conference right now. Both teams on 5-game win streaks, all conference victories, and they're both undefeated in conference play in the Big West at 5-0. But to me, I think UC San Diego is still slightly underrated. I mean, this is a team that's fundamentally sound. They do a great job of taking care of the ball. They're a good free throw shooting team. Defensively, they force tough shots. They don't take too many fouls defensively. The rebounding numbers aren't the best, but UC Irvine right around 100th in the country in rebounding percentage. So I don't think the Anteaters are going to have a huge advantage in this game on the glass. And I do think Irvine's a bit overvalued. I really like this team. Like I said, I still think they are the best team in this conference, but I think they're laying a few too many points in this game. I think this is going to be a really close game. I wouldn't be surprised to see overtime. We've seen Irvine in overtime in conference play already when they went to overtime against UC Davis. And that was a home game. So I think we could see a very similar scoreline here. I'm going to take the points with UC San Diego. Wouldn't be shocked to see them win the game outright either. Next up, we see Oregon and Colorado. This one's going to be 10:30 Eastern. It's going to be on Fox Sports 1. Now, Colorado has not fared too well away from home. In fact, they're 12-5 this year, and they're 2-3 in conference, 3-3 in conference play. And their 3 conference losses, as well as the non-conference losses, were either neutral site games or road losses. So Colorado's still perfect at home this season. We saw them bounce back with a double-digit victory against USC in their last game at home. Colorado's also getting healthier. This is a team that's not always had its full roster, especially the starting lineup. Guys like De Silva's been out for a few games. Cody Williams, the freshman, he missed a few games. Julian Hammond as well. But it looks like Colorado is mostly healthy, at least the most important pieces on this roster are available for this ball game. That's really important. And, Colorado, we know they play really well at home. Oregon, the same thing for them. The Ducks, they have a great home court advantage, but I'm not in love with taking them in too many true road games. And they fared well on the road so far in conference play. They beat Washington. They beat Washington State. Now, both of those games were pretty close. But I think Colorado's better than both of those teams, and I think they have the better home court advantage than both of those teams, honestly. I like the fact that Colorado can compete with Oregon on the glass. I do think it's really important that Colorado takes care of the basketball, but injuries I do think play a part in the season totals from Colorado turnover percentage-wise. I think with this team healthy, we're going to see Colorado be really dangerous in this conference. I like the Buffaloes in this one at home. Give me Colorado. And the final game we're going to talk about for the Thursday card in college basketball, another late game, 10:30 Eastern, San Diego and Portland. This one's going to be on ESPN+. Now, we faded the Pilots against St. Mary's back on January 11th. That was an absolute blowout win for St. Mary's, 95-52. We did the same against San Francisco. We took the Dons and laid the points, and that was 2 days later on January 13th. Another absolute blowout win, 96-69. Portland, much better offensive performance, but the defense still struggling. But both of those games were on the road against two of the better teams in this conference. Now Portland finally returns home, plays one of the weaker teams in the WCC. I mentioned I like Portland as a program. I like the players on this team. I just thought that on the road against those defensive juggernauts were not where you wanted to be if you're the Pilots. Now back at home, I'm willing to take Portland in this spot. I think it's actually a really good bounce-back spot for Portland. I really like Tyler Robertson. Chris Austin, the Fordham transfer that had to miss some time with an injury, he's back. I think this team is solid offensively. The defense I have my concerns with, but I don't think San Diego is the type of team to exploit any of those defensive inefficiencies. San Diego 268th in adjusted offensive efficiency. They turn the ball over a ton. They don't get to the free throw line. They're 266 in two-point field goal percentage. They rely a lot on the three-point jumper, but to me, I think Portland could go toe-to-toe with San Diego from three-point land in this game. The numbers aren't great right now for Portland from the perimeter, but this is a good three-point shooting team. When you look last year, they were 24th in the country, and they lost some production, but guys like Robertson shooting 38% and Masic at 39%. I think we're going to see Portland really compete in this game and grab a W. Give me the Pilots in this one on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. There's also a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.